Have you ever wondered why, in a world where success is worshipped, so many people still feel empty inside? We spend our lives chasing after wealth, recognition, and power, believing that once we achieve a certain level of success, happiness will follow naturally. But what if success alone doesn't guarantee happiness? What if true contentment lies somewhere far deeper than external achievements? You see people around you, apparently successful, high-powered professionals, influencers, and entrepreneurs, yet many of them still struggle with stress, anxiety, or even depression. Despite their outward success, they feel something is missing. Could it be that we're missing something important about happiness? What if the happiest people in the world aren't the ones who chase success, but those who have learned to be at peace with what already is? Today, we're diving into a profound truth shared by the Buddha. True happiness doesn't come from achieving more. It comes from learning to be content with what we already have. Let's explore why true happiness comes from understanding this simple yet powerful concept: peace and contentment within ourselves. Welcome, dear viewers, to another insightful episode where we explore the deeper dimensions of happiness. In today's discussion, we will challenge a widely held belief in modern society. Why do so many people feel empty despite their material success? We've been conditioned to believe that if we just work harder, earn more, and achieve more, happiness will follow. But as we look around, we notice a troubling trend. People who appear successful on the outside often struggle internally with stress, anxiety, and unhappiness. The Buddha once said, "Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship." Yet, modern society often teaches us the opposite. We're told that wealth, recognition, and the pursuit of goals are what make life meaningful. We believe that once we reach a certain milestone, whether it's a financial target, a career achievement, or the perfect relationship, we will finally be happy. But what if this belief is flawed? What if the key to happiness isn't chasing more, but learning to be content with what we already have? From childhood, we're conditioned to think that success equals happiness. We grow up hearing phrases like, "Study hard so you can get a good job," "Work hard so you can buy a big house," or "Achieve more so people will respect you." Yet, how often do we hear, "Find peace within yourself"? Society celebrates billionaires, celebrities, and CEOs as symbols of success. But if material wealth were truly the key to happiness, why do some of the wealthiest and most powerful people still battle stress, addiction, and unhappiness? The answer lies in the Buddhist concept of tanha, which means craving or attachment. When we attach our happiness to external achievements, we create a cycle of endless desire. Imagine a man who spends his whole life chasing after wealth. He convinces himself that once he has $1 million, he will be happy, but when he reaches that goal, he doesn't feel the satisfaction he expected. So he sets his sights on 10 million. When he reaches that, he wants 100 million. The cycle continues. His happiness is always in the future, never in the present moment. No matter how much he achieves, he never feels truly at peace. There's an old Buddhist story about a wealthy merchant who visited a wise monk. The merchant asked, "Why do I feel so empty, even though I have everything I ever wanted?" The monk smiled and handed him a cup. Pouring tea into it, he kept pouring, and the tea overflowed onto the table. The merchant jumped back, saying, "Stop, the cup is already full." The monk responded, "Just like your life, you keep trying to pour more into it, but you are already full. Until you stop chasing more, you will never enjoy what you have." Success is not the enemy. Attachment to success is. If your happiness depends on achieving more tomorrow, you'll never find peace today. Does this mean we should never strive for improvement? Not at all. There's a difference between healthy ambition and unhealthy attachment. Buddhism teaches right effort, the idea that we should work hard but without attachment to the outcome. This means doing our best, but not tying our self-worth to success. Let's consider two people climbing a mountain. The first person is obsessed with reaching the peak. Every step feels like a struggle because they're fixated on the top. When they encounter obstacles, they become frustrated. If they don't reach the summit, they feel like a failure. The second person also wants to reach the top but enjoys the climb. They appreciate the fresh air, the scenery, and the challenge. They take their time, learning from each step, and whether they reach the summit or not, they are already fulfilled. Which person do you think will feel happier at the end of the journey? The Buddha taught that suffering comes from attachment, not effort. When we cling to success as the source of our happiness, we become prisoners of our desires. But when we pursue our goals with a sense of inner peace, we free ourselves from suffering. The question isn't whether you should work hard, but why you are working hard. Are you climbing the mountain to enjoy the journey, or are you climbing it because you think happiness is waiting at the top? If chasing success doesn't bring happiness, what does? The answer lies in contentment. The Buddha taught santosha, the practice of being satisfied with what we have. This doesn't mean we stop growing. It means we stop thinking happiness exists somewhere else. Reflecting on our previous discussion about success and contentment, let's now dive deeper into the true source of happiness. What happens when we stop chasing after success and start embracing what we already have? One person may wake up each day thinking, "I need more." The other wakes up each day thinking, "I have enough." Who do you think will feel happier? A wise monk once told a young man, "You say you will be happy when you have more, but if you cannot be happy now, you will not be happy then." Happiness is not a reward we get for working harder. It's something we can cultivate right now by shifting our mindset and learning to appreciate what we already have. How can we practice contentment? Let's begin with 3 simple yet profound practices that the Buddha himself taught. 1. Gratitude. Instead of focusing on what we lack, we start by appreciating what we already have, by recognizing the blessings in our lives. No matter how small, we shift our focus away from scarcity and towards abundance. Gratitude helps us understand that happiness isn't dependent on external circumstances but on our internal perspective. 2. Mindfulness. Be present in the moment. In today's fast-paced world, we're constantly looking ahead, planning, striving, reaching, But true happiness is found in the present moment. Mindfulness teaches us to be fully aware of where we are, what we're doing, and who we're with, without getting lost in the future or past. Free, simplicity, let go of unnecessary desires and focus on what truly matters. When we reduce the noise of external expectations and material pursuits, we create space for inner peace. By simplifying our lives, we allow joy to naturally arise, free from the constant need for more. Here's the irony of it all. When you stop chasing success and focus on purpose, meaning, and joy, success often follows. Think of a great artist who paints not for fame, but for love, a teacher who inspires not for recognition, but for passion, a monk who owns nothing, yet radiates peace. They may achieve great things, but not because they were chasing success. They were living with purpose. Success is not something to chase. It's something that naturally comes when you align with your inner peace and purpose. So what are we truly searching for? Is it success, or is it peace? The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." Perhaps the happiest people in the world are not those who have achieved the most, but those who have learned to embrace the present moment, letting go of the endless chase for external rewards. Instead of running after a future goal, allow yourself to enjoy this moment. Imagine the difference it would make if we could let go of the belief that happiness is always just out of reach, waiting at the top of a mountain we keep climbing. Happiness is here, in the now. If this message resonates with you, consider subscribing to this channel. Together, let's explore the timeless wisdom of the Buddha and the path to a more peaceful life. Your journey to true happiness begins now.